Hello everyone, this is part 3 of my 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts to show you. Again, not really discussing the paper that's being used, but more just letting you see the different layouts that I've achieved, because obviously you could custom these layouts to whatever paper you have in your stash. So let's just get some over. Right, the first one, I've used a few photos. This is one of the layouts that actually took photos specifically to use in the layout. I don't often do that. Usually I just take photos, and if I like the look of them I'll use a layout for it. But I wanted to do one with Isla when she was in the Brownies, from when she started to when she left, and I decided that I would take one photograph with all our Brownie books on it, and another one with some of our badges. And some of the badges I took photos of and cut them out and stuck them on. I mean, obviously she's got all her Brownie badges, but they're on her sash, and I didn't want to remove them and put them on to the layout, because obviously they're there in her sash and that's going to be hers to keep, so I didn't want to ruin that. So this was why that I took the photos specifically. Letters are cut out on my Cricut, and I put a photo of her with the owl from Brownies and the flag inside the centre of the O. Punched out a couple of paper flowers, and I left this photograph not fastened down properly, so I put in a few tags with a list of all the badges that she did while she was in Brownies. So that's one layout. This one has got a few photos on it as well. These photos were all taken. Isla didn't know I was watching her, and we had built a sand pit at our last house for the kids when they were little, and even as she grew older, Isla used to love playing in the sand pit, and she would spend hours in there speaking to herself, and she used to take our plastic animals in and just have a nice time spending time by herself in our sand pit. So these are photos that she wasn't really aware that I was taking, but I thought they were very cute. I used my chipboard letters as a template for the happy, printed these out in the computer and cut round them, and then stuck them on, backed them and cut round them again. These were just printed out on normal printer paper, cut into strips and laid on. And this is some rub-ons that I used. And obviously it was just one sheet of paper, one sheet of cardstock, and it just happened to have the nice patterns on it. So that's that one. This one is a single photo layout as well, but this time I've just used a normal size photograph, not a bigger one. So obviously I had to use, sort of spread out the stuff a bit more to use up the space. So I've found some quotes from the internet. Sisters are close as hands and feet. Sisters are different flowers from the same garden. And then put on some ribbons and friends forever, sisters. So that's another nice simple layout, but it's quite effective. This is using a big photograph this time, filled mostly the whole 12 by 12 page, and I layered up some paper, colour paper underneath, and I used lots of embellishments, chipboard, flowers, buttons, just little things that I had lying about that never seemed to get used. Some stickers, all things pertaining to maybe friends. And that's my title, Just Smile. Again, cut out using my chipboard templates, and these are just fuzzy letters that I had gotten in a pack. Another sticker, buttons, ribbons, just whatever I had really. I just kind of flung a whole heap of stuff onto one layout. Kept it all at the bottom as a border, so I quite like that one. These photographs were taken by my older daughter when she got her new camera, and she took them in sepia, and there was one black and white one, and I really liked them, so I put them onto a piece of cardstock. It was just plain yellow. This lime green one, it looks yellow in the photo, but it's actually a lime green colour. I put it on as well, layered up another piece of paper on top of that, printed out the word dreams on the cricket, and follow your dreams. A piece of ribbon on it, and these are transparent butterflies, which I just cut out and stuck on. So that's another one. That was a nice one because it's used up a few photos again. I must admit, I do like using up lots of photos on a page. This was taken at Isla's fancy dress party that she had, and it was a Wild West theme. So there was lots of photos taken that day. Nothing really special about the layout, the fact that I've just laid out the pictures. We were actually having problems with our printer, so this is actually done on just printer paper. So the photos are not that great quality really. But because they were on normal paper, I tore the edges, made it look a bit shabby, stuck on some contrasting papers in behind, some newspaper type ones. And the Wild Wild West I cut out in the cricket, but I also used the bit that the letters came out of. So I cut that into a strip and stuck it down at the bottom. So it was a good way to save wasting all that paper. And this one is of Sunny, one of our cats. It says on the prowl. So this paper came with Meow and the fish bones on it, and all I did was layer up some other paper behind it, scallop the top of it, another piece of paper, and I put a bracket on it, and then just layered up some stamping, up with some doodling, a little tag, and described how Sunny is cool, casual, sophisticated and adventurous. So that's it, that's some more. So I'll be back soon with some other layouts for you. Thanks for watching, bye!